Michael, do you think the Marvel Cinematic Universe could come to a point in its trajectory where it's too late for the overall quality of output to significantly increase? If so, what could that point be? Well, first answer is yes, of course that could happen. And we don't know what that point is. That point might have been 2022, where they just went so silly, so goofy with She-Hulk, Thor Love and Thunder.
You almost tasted that. Num 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 num, eat it up. Hopefully, okay.
And flick.
And spread things out too much with the multiverse and did too many projects in 2021, 2022, that it broke the MCU at such a deep level that it'll never really come back. Not that you can't have an individual project that would be good. You can always do that. But the MCU is the whole thing. And the reason it was such a powerful brand is because the whole thing had such a strong reputation that if you went to a Marvel movie, you thought like at worst it would be mid. Mid does not mean bad. Mid means, yeah, I mean, it's well made, but it's just kind of forgettable. That's what mid means. And it's, you use mid to describe things that have like a budget and they should be better, and they're just not as good as they could be. That was the worst that the MCU got for a long time. It was an incredibly strong brand that you could trust, that you'll get quality entertainment that's part of this bigger thing, which is kind of exciting. And they might have broken that over the last few years. I mean, I guess over the last 5 years since Endgame came out, they, in this rebuilding phase, where you had to establish your new heroes, your new plot lines, they segmented the audience so much and they made the tone so radically different from project to project that maybe this already happened. But I could be wrong. That could be totally wrong. Whereas they'll pull it together next year. Maybe this year, maybe in July with Deadpool and Wolverine, they'll start to like pull it back together and that regrouping and they fix it. So to the question of, could they reach a point? What would that point be? I don't think you know the point in the moment, unless they do something totally insane, which some people would say She-Hulk was totally insane and Thor Love and Thunder was totally insane. But you don't, generally speaking, know in the moment when you've gone over the cliff. And the same reason, you don't usually know when you've hit your peak. I suppose in the case of Endgame, it was pretty easy to see that as the peak, and that's probably forever going to be the peak of the MCU because it was literally the biggest movie of all time. And it was satisfying for the majority of people. But you don't know when you hit that usually, and you don't know when you've hit the point of no return. You look back and you discover it. So when you talk about what would be the point of no return, I think it's when you break the franchise at such a fundamental level. And that's why I think there's some fear with the comedy that they went so far into it that you just can't take the universe seriously on the same level, that that doesn't feel consistent with Iron Man. This just feels like it's too broken and segmented, and you're instead of having fun without making fun, you are just making fun of your own thing. And you literally broke the fourth wall and went into the writer's room. That could be too far. It could be a matter of writing yourself into a corner. Yet an idea you're super excited about, multiverse, and you do multiverse, and sometimes you get No Way Home, and then sometimes you get this other stuff. And if you're not able to pull it together in a meaningful way, it just turns into a series of gimmicks, of cameos, to where that's cheap thrills. Hey, look! All my toys are playing together. Hey, look, all the universes are coming together. It's a cheap trick. If you do have good writing, if you do something special, you can do something great with it, but you could also really break your universe and just turn it into cheap gimmicks. Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe they've written themselves into a corner. But you don't know until you look back and realize, oh, that's the choice that they made right here where they went down the wrong path. They picked the wrong villain. They broke the tone and the style too much. They went too many different directions. But it's that. And it might have already happened. And maybe it hasn't. Maybe they'll be able to pull it back together. But you don't know in the moment. Helena Murphy, do you think Deadpool 3 can save the MCU from its downfall, or is that too late is it impossible? Do I think that it can save the MCU from its downfall? No, I don't think individual projects are what save or ruin the MCU. Last year, we had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, widely regarded as one of the best MCU projects since Endgame. But no one went, the MCU's saved now. Partially because that was like a project that felt like it was a Guardians movie more than an MCU film. And partially because it's just one project. And when we say is the MCU's in downfall, it's not that one project meant the whole thing's broken. It's that the general overall trajectory, it feels like it's spiraling out of control where we don't have stars of the MCU anymore. We don't have urgency and momentum on our main plot line. We don't know what we're working towards. It feels like we're working towards too many things. It feels too segmented. And so the excitement overall is lost. The quality is too inconsistent. So the fact that one thing is good, Guardians Volume 3, Loki Season 2, doesn't change the fact that Secret Invasion came out between those two things. That Thor Love and Thunder came out the year before and She-Hulk came out the year before that just felt wildly tonally inconsistent with everything else. It's that. The MCU is about like that, a shared universe that you're excited about the whole thing. And right now, people are not excited about the whole thing. They're excited about pieces of it, and they don't even care about huge chunks. They're like, I don't even watch the TV shows anymore. I gave up on this. I don't even care about this. Do I even need to watch this movie? Whereas every movie used to be must see. That's gone now. So we talk about saving the MCU. It's not, is Deadpool 3 good enough, finally a good MCU film? We got a good MCU movie last year. We got a good MCU movie the year before that. We got a good MCU movie the year before that. But we also got some not so good ones and some not so good TV shows. So, and I think Deadpool 3 also has a little bit of the Guardians 3 problem, which is to say that it feels like it's a Deadpool movie. It's a team-up movie with Wolverine. It's not a crucial piece to the MCU. Even with the TVA tied into it, you're watching it for Deadpool and Wolverine, hence the title. And you're watching Guardians of the Galaxy for Guardians of the Galaxy. They feel like pieces of their individual franchises more so than a piece of the MCU as a whole. Whereas when you think like Captain America Civil War, it is just as much an MCU movie as it is a Captain America movie. An Avengers movie is an Avengers movie. It's also MCU the movie. And Guardians 3 feels like Guardians 3. Just that. And Deadpool and Wolverine feels like that. It's Deadpool and Wolverine. And if it succeeds, it's great as that. It's an awesome movie, but it's not lifting the whole MCU. But to save the MCU from its downfall, they need to be more consistent. And they need to get excitement for MCU as a whole and that main plot line, like we're building towards a specific thing. And we need stars. We don't have any new stars in the MCU. Shang-Chi could have been a new star. But we haven't seen him for 3 years, and I don't know when I'm going to see him again. Maybe Moon Knight could have been a star, but he was in this one show that was more divisive than they were probably thinking. Don't know if we'll ever see him again. And, you know, like we saw Miss Marvel again, but both of the things she were in were some of the lower viewed MCU projects. So we don't have our new stars. We don't know who our new Avengers are. And you need that to save kind of the downfall of what's kind of going on right now. Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.